to a good week, don't we? Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. I hope everybody is happy and well after the weekend if you're watching this in real time on Monday. Welcome to Makeover Monday. So I'm back here live in my bedroom, and I was just saying to our friends here on Instagram that today I'm going to talk about fragrance and essential oils, always a really popular topic, I know, something that's very close to my heart. My very first book, written 30 years ago this year, was called Vital Oils, all about oils, oils in the diet, carrier oils, fragrance oils, essential oils, all of that. So it's lovely to dive back into that world with a great guest who is a real authority for Neal's Yard, which is based down here in the West Country, another great female founder brand. So it was started by Romy Fraser, who I know really well. She and I go back a long time. She's not connected to the brand anymore, but she's really left such an amazing legacy. And she was a teacher by training, and a lot of her work was about education. And I've actually been to Neal's Yard not that long ago. You might have seen it on my Instagram. And I know several of the people who work there, and it's a lovely company, great British brand. They have a herbalist full-time. They grow a lot of their plants. They macerate and brew up so many of their botanical extracts. They make everything by hand in their small factory. It's really, really good. Oh dear, Pen, talking about estrogen gel. Okay, well, you need to have a listen to my Friday 5 podcast this week, because I'm going to be recording a news update on HRT and estrogel and all of that. So do please watch this space. Hey, you've just received your new magazine. All right, so I'm going to jump into that very quickly before we go into our essential oil exploration, a voyage of discovery. So I hope that you enjoy that. Maybe just sit back, pop the kettle on, just take a bit of time out just to relax and have a lovely start to the week. Lots of inspiration and ideas and education for the week ahead. But yes, you should be getting this very soon if you are a subscriber. Ta-da! This is the sparkly new edition with my little botanical Baz helper, my Christmas Santa on the front. Oh, it was such a lot of fun, I have to say. Yeah, it was. Yours came this morning as well. Oh, great. So lots of good things. So I'm not going to do a deep dive into Christmas just yet, but you wait, it's so coming. I love this time of year. And in fact, if you love it too and want to get really into Christmas, I do have a download all about how to have a healthier, happier Christmas. And I'll just see, I've got a note of it here, I think, in the magazine. Such a great magazine, this one. We've actually got puzzle pages for the very first time. Really fun. I was actually doing the crossword yesterday with a friend, and you can see we've nearly finished it. There you go. Oh, I've not shown you the answers, had I? But yeah, that is on page 119 if you want to see that. It's a well-being crossword. Really good fun. Let me know if you've completed that. So let me just see. Gosh, there's so much in here, it's hard to find. I know it is in here because it's a download that I made many years ago, actually, with some of my family favourites for Christmas. And it's homemade decorations and, oh, something else here I must show you. Just lots of recipes, obviously things that you can get ahead with now if you want to start making things to pop in the freezer. You know, things like your cranberry sauce, and obviously things like Christmas pudding start to make, and Christmas cakes and all of that. Maybe it's further ahead. Big article here on NMN, which, as you know, is one of my favourites. We've got homemade beauty gifts. If you want to get ahead and make some beauty treats to give for other people, which is lovely. In fact, I'm going to be talking about that in just a moment with Tipper from Neal's Yard as well. Lots of information on health and beauty. Oh, here we go. It was right at the front after all that. Okay, so this is it. Everything you need to know for a healthy, happy Christmas. Okay, it's a $4.99 download. It's an ebook on Earle Wellbeing if you want to grab that, because there's lots in there. Something else that we are launching today, sorry, I will be with you in just a moment, Tipper, is another bit of drum roll. Oh, it's so exciting when I have all these new things on a Monday. Look, ta-da, look what this is. So, those of you who know, I've been working with Mighty Brew to produce my own Earle Wellbeing organic farm-produced kombucha. So delicious. And so we had the blush rose for summer, which was like a pink champagne, a non-alcoholic pink champagne. And that went down so well. I mean, as you know, we sold out and there was a waiting list, and then we had to make some more and all of that. So I was with the lovely Julia and Peter from Mighty Brew, who are based in Winchester, so not a million miles away from me. And we met and we planned basically something new for Christmas. Might be ongoing, we'll see how well it goes. But it's called Elderflower Sec. So it is like a fine champagne. Look at that colour. I won't open it. I am tempted to, but I'm going to save it for a special because I'm here on my own on a Monday and I don't think it would be a waste really, wouldn't it? But it's inspired by the English hedgerows and it's made with genuine elderflowers, and you get all the probiotic goodness of the kombucha in this beautiful, proper, big, heavy champagne bottle with the stopper and everything in there. And you do actually also get the Liz Loves, by the way. So anyway, we've mentioned it in the magazine. If you've got your magazine, you'll be able to see it there, launching it. And it's just literally gone live on their website. This is Peter. So that's Julia's partner, if you want to see. And I'll show you the most amazing thing. If you want to read the full article, it's pages 58, 59, 60 and 61 in the magazine. But this was me, all hair netted up, when I went to see these guys. Look at that giant SCOBY. That is how you make kombucha. And if you're making it at home, you're making it in little jars. And of course, if you're making it authentically in a kind of, bulk setting, you have a vast SCOBY. And so, yes, I went to see. So there you go. So have a read all about it. And if you'd like to get some for Christmas, do please order early because I know it's just going to fly. And yes, you just use your Liz Loves code as normal, all capitals, all one word. Look, I've even got my glass here just in case I get tempted to get yours for Christmas. So now, that's okay. Tricia, you're a bit late, but that's all right. I've just done my notices. I've just done the Christmas issue. I've done the new Christmas offers, talking about the amazing, if you missed that, that's the Mighty Brew. So good. And you know how sometimes, if you're a non-drinker or you're the designated driver or you just want to kind of scale it back a bit, very often you'll get given a glass of elderflower cordial or something. But it's so sweet. There's so much sugar. And of course, it's not actually giving you any real benefit. The great thing about this is it tastes really good. It's very low in sugar and you're getting probiotic goodness. So you're actually replenishing your gut and doing something. What am I using on my hair, Kathy? Today, I used Percy and Reed, which we also have a Liz Loves with. So I use their volumizing mousse, which just gives it a little bit of oomph. Haven't really had time to do very much to it. But yeah, I use the volumizing shampoo and conditioner. And I've also been using their, is it called Wonder Balm? That was the one that Jenny Sharp told me I absolutely had to use because it was their bestseller. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I love Percy and Reed hair care. They smell amazing and the products are really good. And I think we've got a 15% discount with them, Liz Loves, on everything on their website, even their little mini sizes, which is great for travel if you're going away for the weekend or if you just want to try something, you can buy the mini sizes to try. What makeup am I using? Oh my goodness. What am I using today? I have got a little bit of Studio 10 palette on my face. And I'm using also from Studio 10 this one, which I love, which is the Plumping Blush. Yeah, so I'm just fishing around in my dressing table drawer at the moment. But we do have 20% Liz Loves on all the Studio 10 products as well. So there you go. Right, I am now going to see if we have Tipper Lewis from Neal's Yard. And I'm so excited about this because Neal's Yard, I think I've mentioned them before, it's a really lovely, beautiful botanical health and well-being brand as well as beauty, because they do a lot actually in the herbal stakes. And if you go into any of their shops, you'll see that they have herbal tinctures, all sorts of things really useful for this season, coughs and colds and flu and all of that, as well as all their really delicious skincare. And this is something that I'm loving at the moment. It's Women's Balance. It's a new range, and this is the body cream. And actually I've just used this on my hands as a hand cream because it's so rich but it's not greasy. So you get this beautiful jar, and I love the way it's all in blue glass. They haven't had to repackage anything to get away from single-use plastics. They've always used glass. And then this one is also really lovely, which I love in the evening. It's bath salts. And we have a Liz Loves on all the Neal's Yard. Yeah, 15% off all the Neal's Yard. Anyway, let's get into a little bit of education, because that is at the heart of everything for Neal's Yard. Because as I say, Romy Fraser, when she started the brand, she was actually teaching. So she's always been very good on education. And I love all their leaflets and things that they do. It's all about education. Hello, Tipper.
Hello, Liz. How are you?
I'm very well. Nice to have you with me. Happy start to the week.
I know, can't believe it's Monday again. It flies by, doesn't it?
I mean, not only Monday, but it's 7th of November. Is it? Or is it the 8th? I mean, it's just like, wow, where's it going? This time next month, we will be full on Christmas mode, won't we?
Exactly. I'm counting down to my birthday. It's my birthday a month today, and I'm 50, so...
That's a real milestone.
Yeah.
When I was 50, I was like, okay, so I'm kind of halfway. You know, I think halfway there. No, I'm no joke. I mean, literally, I fully intend to hit more than 3 numbers, hopefully, in a row. And actually, it's a really good time of life. It's a great time to celebrate because, you know, you've grown into who you are, and you've got to a stage in life where you know who your friends are and how you like to be and where you're living and how you like to dress and all of that. And actually, it's hopefully about having a better time. I mean, that's certainly my philosophy here at Earle Wellbeing. That's what we try and do for midlife women.
Yeah. No, it's nice, isn't it? I think that sort of... you feel happier in your skin, don't you, somehow?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of steps that we need to take along that journey. I mean, certainly things like hormone health, which I've talked about a lot, you know, HRT, talking about mental health, anxiety, sleep, which I know is a big one that we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
And help for all of that so that we can embrace this second half in a more positive way. But what's your background? How did you come to be at Neal's Yard doing what you're doing?
Well, it's quite interesting actually because I used to live in London. I don't anymore, but I always went to the shop in Covent Garden, and I just remember it was really intriguing. It sort of, I walked in, saw those jars of herbs that you were talking about, and I just applied for a job. So I ended up working there, and then I just fell in love with the plants. All of those jars I absolutely adored. Yeah. So I ended up training to be a naturopath. Gosh, this was so long ago now. Probably.
Gosh, all because you started working at Neal's Yard.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
And it just got me like a bug. So I've been there for 21 years this year.
Congratulations. And based down in the West Country, based at their headquarters?
Yeah, so originally I was based in London. So I started off working in stores, then head of training, and now brand ambassador. But I just fell in love with it. You know, when you see a brand, philosophy, ethics, it just all matched with my lifestyle. And it was just like a door opening, really. Yeah. So it was lovely.
No, very much so. When I had my visit there not that long ago, it was just lovely stepping into it. And you could see that whole, you know, everything from, you know, the staff canteen with the way it's set out with the organic produce and the lovely writings on the wall and, you know, the lots of wood and natural fibres. I mean, just everything. You know, you really felt this is a brand that, you know, embraces everything 360. They're not just, it's not just tokenism. It's not just some sort of big soulless corporation. It really does have a heart, and I think that integrity actually comes through with everything.
Does.
So we're going to talk today specifically about ways to be calm and ways to encourage a good night's sleep, which is so important for our immune system and all of that. You've sent me some amazing things here, which I'm really excited about. So this is going to be a real tutorial for me as well. So this is what Tip has sent me with all these eco little chips in the box. This I loved receiving. I didn't actually know that you did this, but you make an unfragranced bath oil, which you can then add your own oils to. That's so clever.
Exactly. Well, if you think about it, our roots started off with Romy and Co. making their skincare out the back, which of course you're really familiar with. Yeah. So the Create Your Own range really taps into our heritage.
So this is a whole range called Create Your Own.
Yeah, there's a shower gel, hair and body wash, bath oil, massage oil, a lotion and an ointment.
So you then add your own bits to it to really personalise it. How genius is that? What a lovely present for somebody who's into mixing and making and, you know, for a youngster starting off. I mean, my journey actually, just a little side tour, my grandmother, when I was 13, gave me a Vogue guide to beauty. And in that, I mean, this is going way back, obviously, in that book were so many recipes for how to make cucumber face packs and all that kind of thing. Yeah. And I swear that is what got me hooked. And so things like this, where you can get hands-on, you can start to make your own things.
It's great, isn't it? But I mean,
fun.
We're going to make one ourselves today. But,
great.
You know, if people want to, they can go into our store. And this is what I used to love. People would come in and say, you know what, Tipper, I'm feeling a little bit stressy, or I've got a cold and I'm feeling congested, or whatever it is, and they will help you make up your own product in store.
Amazing.
And literally putting in essential oils by the drop, or you can add flower remedies.
I've just seen actually on the back here. I'll just show my friends. It says here you can add to your base. You can add tinctures, you can add essential oils, and it tells you how many you can add, and flower remedies. So basically, Neal's Yard do all of those, do they? Tinctures, essential oils, flower remedies, and then you can choose what to add to your base oil.
Exactly. So you can make it as deluxe. You could make it just into a really gorgeous product for a present, maybe a lovely bath oil, or it could be something very functional, like having a fungal foot or something like that.
My goodness, so you'd need to put lots of antibacterial oils in.
Exactly. So it really sort of goes, across the whole sort of spectrum of uses. It's brilliant.
So what are we going to start with? What's my lesson for today? I have my pen and paper ready. I'm all prepared. Okay.
So we thought it would be really nice to make something to do with sleep.
Okay.
So, but first of all, I think you wanted to find out a little bit about essential oils, didn't you?
Let's just go back. So, these little tiny bottles, which I'm so familiar with, and I've got, probably, dozens, if not 100 in my bathroom, and I keep them in a wooden box, so they're sort of protected from heat and light, and that's quite important, isn't it? And that's why actually Neal's Yard, you have the coloured glass to protect the oil.
Exactly. So you're protecting them from things like light, and it's really important to always keep your essential oils somewhere dark as well, but also somewhere that's cool. So keeping your essential oils in the bathroom, for instance.
Not such a great idea, I know.
Not a great idea. The same as your skincare, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, they're very, very delicate. If you consider that an essential oil is a huge volume of plant material which is condensed down into a tiny amount, a few mils of essential oil. You don't want them to spoil. So some are very delicate, like citrus oils will only last about 6 months.
Really? I didn't know that. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go through and update a lot of my citrus oils. So things like lemon, mandarin, orange, obviously grapefruit.
Yeah, bergamot. So they'll still smell fine. If you're going to pop them on your diffuser, that's fine.
Okay.
If you're using them for a therapeutic use, maybe in massage or something like that, the chemicals, because each essential oil is made up of hundreds of chemicals, the certain chemicals will start to degrade. So if you're using them for that reason, you need to refresh them. Whereas other ones like woods and resins, so things like frankincense and myrrh and pine, they're really, really stable. So they can last up to 3 years.
Gosh, I love frankincense.
So do I.
It's just, I don't know whether it's that kind of churchy vibe, but it's very grounding, it's very calming. And actually interesting, I know that Neal's Yard has a really good frankincense face cream, or at least you used to. I don't know whether you still have it. Still do. It is so good, and there have been studies showing that frankincense can help with skin cell regeneration and all of that. I need to go back and look into that again, actually, because it was a really fascinating bit of research, and I do love that smell on my skin, especially in the winter. It's very comforting.
It's so lovely, isn't it? I love all the woody smells, like sandalwoods and vetiver.
Vetiver is great. Great on guys too. For if you're thinking of making something for a guy, massage oil or bath oil, then vetiver is a good one to use, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is what's wonderful about essential oils. You saying about frankincense for skin. So frankincense does so many different things as well. So you might use frankincense. For instance, if you've got a cold and you're feeling that you're quite congested, it helps with breathing. Yeah. So you might use it for meditation or to de-stress.
Yeah, I can see a comment there about somebody using frankincense for meditation during that moment and burning it. Actually, you've reminded me, thank you. When I do my yoga stretches, I should actually put on a little bit of, incense or just something just to kind of waft up through the atmosphere. Very good question here actually has just come in. The shelf life, is that unopened essential oils? So once we've opened
once they're opened, So as long as you're buying essential oils, it's good to always check the batch number. So everything that you buy, not just from us, anywhere, will always have a batch number, won't it?
Yeah.
So that batch number always tells you the date that it was put into the bottle. or created.
Yeah,
so
great.
you can check the batch number and make sure you're getting fresh essential oils, but really it's once they're opened, once the oxygen starts to get in the bottle and starts to oxidize them.
Yeah, fair enough.
So but that is a good question.
And in terms of therapeutic use of essential oils, so we know that essential oil, because they all smell so very different, you know, they go up the nose to the limbic system in the brain, that's part of emotion and mood and all of that. So we know that's how they can shift our mood. What else, what other kind of properties from you as a naturopath point of view, what would you say about essential oils?
Well, I think they're so diverse. It's a bit like using herbs, you know.
Right, fair enough.
It's matching what works for the individual. So I think what we tend to do, and I'm not necessarily saying I'm right, is we tend to read a book and think, okay, I'm having problems sleeping, so let's see which essential oils are really good for sleep. And you come up with a list of, you know, let's say 10 essential oils. And you think, okay, I'm going to use those. But what we often forget is the other part of ourselves, which is our emotional, our spiritual side, and also our reactions to things. So if I say lavender essential oil to you for sleep, you may well not like the smell of lavender. So although in theory it works and its its chemistry helps you to feel sleepy, you're ignoring the side of you which is actually saying, what do I need? Instinctively.
Yeah, that instinctive thing is really important. It's like that gut reaction, isn't it? We need to pay more attention, I guess, to that inner little voice that knows instinctively what's right for us, and that's such an individual thing. I do love lavender, I have to say. I sleep with lavender on my pillow every night. In fact, if you looked at my bedside table in my drawer, you'd see a little blue bottle of Neal's Yard lavender essential oil. I literally just put 1 or 2 drops on my pillow every night.
Yeah. It's interesting though, isn't it? You know, I don't know how many people are watching, but if we did a poll, you'd probably have, you know, maybe 60% people who say they love lavender, and then 40% would be saying, no, it reminds me of my granny, you know, or something like that. So we're all so individual. So I think the part that I love is listening to what your body needs and what your body wants to get better. So, for instance, it could be vetiver. And that's why when we sent you the essential oils, they're blind.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm a bit nervous about this because you sent me, I mean, they're just labelled like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this going to be some sort of awful quiz that I'm going to get wrong answers? Help.
There were no right and no wrong answers, but I wanted to sort of, you know, I knew we'd be talking about how essential oils work, but I just wanted you to listen to what you wanted as well.
Oh, that's
and you
very
can never
kind of
do
you.
that if you know what something is, because as soon as I say lavender, what are you thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a fixed thing in my mind already that has pre-selected that as something that's going to be, for me, nice and help me sleep and is calming.
Yeah, but there might be something better today. But I suppose also from a naturopathic point of view is, you know, the functional part of aromatherapy. So, you know, the fact that we mentioned a fungal foot earlier on, you know, you can use them topically as well for all of these vast array of very practical uses, you know, like, you know, inhalations and chest rubs and feet and strengthening fingernails, you know, all of these things that you can use topically. So for me, that's quite exciting because it means that aromatherapy is a really good entry point for people to start thinking about their personal well-being, whether that's something physical or mental, emotional.
Yeah. So what am I going to do with these little bottles then with their anonymous labelling? Do I need to start with number 1?
So let's start with number 1.
Okay.
So these are basically labelled in a specific order because essential oils have a range of smells. So in perfumery, it's called top, middle, and base notes. So if we started off smelling a base note first, you wouldn't smell any of the others because your nose they're so deep and resinous and heavy that your nose can't smell the lighter aromas. So we're starting off with the lightest first and going down.
Okay.
So smell number 1, pop a little drop on a smelling strip.
Okay.
We don't smell them directly from the bottle because
really, so I shouldn't be smelling this then on the.
It's not the best way because such a huge amount of plant material goes to create an essential oil that they're very overwhelming.
Okay.
So
can you get these smelling strips from you? Because these are Neal's Yard smelling strips, or are these professional ones?
Yeah, we don't sell those, but you can just buy them online or just pop some on a tissue.
On a tissue, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to write number 1 on that on the end, because I remember when I used to
good
go and see my
idea.
perfumers in Grass, they would give us so many smelling sticks and we'd get so confused. And so we'd always put what it was on. Okay, so I'm just literally going to drop a couple of drops on the end, yeah?
Your nose goes on strike, doesn't it, when you smell a lot of aromatherapy oils? Yeah. And the whole idea
that is really light.
It
smells citrusy. Am I in the right family?
Yep, you are.
It's like flipping mastermind of essential oils.
I know.
My goodness. I
so
feel
try
like
not to guess what it is, Liz. Think about whether it's something that you resonate with, something that you like, and maybe
I do like it. It's very cheerful.
Yeah.
It's a very uplifting, fresh, light, quite joyful. Yeah, I like that. It smells a bit, it reminds me of sort of like satsumas or mandarins or something like that.
So if you like it, you've got a pen and paper there. Yep. Maybe just put a little tick or something to indicate that you want to use it.
Yep.
I mean, we can use all of these. We're only smelling 5 different essential oils, so we can use all of them if you want to create our bath oil. Are you moving on to number 2?
Yep, number 2.
Okay.
So let me open up number 2. So are these going to begin to get a bit stronger then, are they?
Yes, they will. So the smells will become more intense as we move down. So we're hitting sort of middle notes now.
Okay. And if someone was to come into one of your shops, this is the kind of thing that they could get talked through, is it?
Exactly. Somebody might come in and we're sort of combining the sort of physical with this. So they may come in and say, I'm having problems with feeling really stressed at the moment. So once we know what the concern is, we can pull out the essential oils.
I know what this is.
And target that. It's good, isn't it, this one?
It's what we were talking about earlier.
It is.
Frankincense.
Yeah.
I'm just going to waft this around my atmosphere.
I know. You've got a good nose.
Have I? Oh, good.
Yes. It's really difficult to identify essential oils when you don't know what they are.
Yeah, I mean, that is a bit of a test.
Yeah, you passed. Tick.
Lovely. Yeah, no, that's a definite yes from me. So I'm going to put number 2. I'm going to give that 2 ticks, actually, because I do love it.
Nice and simple.
Okay,
so number 3.
Now, I've also got here a little jar of coffee beans. Should I be doing something with that?
Yeah. So you've obviously got quite a good nose and you're used to smelling things, but often people go nose blind because you've kind of overwhelmed your nose. So when you smell the coffee beans, it's like the reset button.
Isn't that so interesting? You can reset your system.
Yeah.
I was in duty free the other day. I flew back from Jersey at the weekend with my eldest daughter, and we arrived because I got the time wrong, so we arrived ages early for the flight. So of course we wandered around duty free aimlessly, trying all the perfumes and things just to see what was out there. And by the end of it, I actually kept sniffing my woolly jumper, because that's another thing, isn't it? To reset your nose if you're out and about, you just sort of sniff. But I think coffee beans are excellent.
Oh yes, it doesn't make you want a coffee at all, does it?
Don't. I've already had 2 this morning.
Lord.
I know. It's good. It's good stuff, though. And it's natural. It's plant-based. That's why I don't hold with all the decaf. And I did have decaf last night because I like a cup of coffee occasionally in the evenings, or mint tea. But yeah, I just think just have the real thing, have good quality.
Go for it. I know. I find decaf makes me just as jittery, actually, as regular coffee. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, there's this. I did Life Code GX nutrigenomic test a while ago, and it did show that although I react strongly to coffee, which is why I like it, because I get the buzz from it, I actually do process it quite well. So
that's good,
which was a bit, I felt quite pleased about that. I thought, actually, that's all right then. But I wouldn't drink one after about sort of 2:30. That would be it. Because they do say, I think it's about 12 hours to get caffeine out of your system.
It is, yeah. I find the only way I don't get the jitters is if I have one at breakfast time, and then I'm fine. Yeah. But any later than that, and it just makes me buzz too much.
Yeah. Jenny's saying, did I use the butterfat keto? Yes, I did. I love that too. And that's a whole other story. Okay, so number 3. So I've got a citrusy thing, which you haven't yet identified for me, and I'm going to be in suspense.
I'm being mean.
Okay, I'm resisting the urge to smell it, because literally as soon as I take the top off something, I usually smell it. Okay, so this is
lovely.
number 3. Let's see if my sense of smell is continuing. Ooh. Now that is quite soft and quite a pretty smell.
I'm particularly liking this today, actually.
I'm wondering if that's like a leaf, maybe. sort of slightly greeny, but is it like a geranium-y sort of smell?
How's it making you feel? Is it working for you? Or
is it a chamomile? No, but it's got those sort of that chemistry to it. I kind of like it. I tell you what, this would be very nice at the end of the day.
Okay.
I feel that this would be a kind of switching me off. Which is nice, but that's kind of not what I want to do right now. I mean, it's Monday, lunchtime in real time, so I kind of don't want to be too switched off.
So maybe ditch that one. Maybe this one doesn't have to go into your bath oil. I will tell you what they are afterwards.
Okay.
I'm just being a bit mean.
All right, fine. Okay, well, I'll put that to one side. So I'm going to put 3, and I'm not going to put anything by the 3. I'm just going to leave that. Okay, so let's go on to number 4. This is so exciting. We need smell-o-vision, don't we, really?
I know.
We ought to do a workshop where people can kind of get tickets and get a little kit, maybe.
Yeah,
so that
we used to do these in the store. It was really lovely. And when I was head of training, we used to do this in training, and people loved it.
Yeah.
And people always choose the right essential oils when they choose them like this. It's really amazing.
Really good way to do it. Oh my goodness, that is a fiery one.
Yeah, so this is a Marmite Essential Oil.
I'm rather liking this because this has really picked me up.
Yeah.
I've smelt this and it's, I don't know, it smells like a really fantastic cocktail.
It does actually, doesn't it?
It smells like a Negroni or something. It's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. It's funny, I'm liking this one today, and sometimes I really don't like it. Okay, so that's getting a tick.
That is getting a tick. I'm wondering what it is. Is it a resiny sort of thing? Is it a resiny thing? Anyway, okay.
It's kind of not, actually.
Is it not? Interesting.
No.
Oh, that is foxing me.
I will reveal, I promise.
Okay, great. Okay, so then let's do the last one. So, yeah, I'm going to give that one a double tick.
To take the labels off them.
I know, and I didn't cheat, honestly. I promise you. Okay, so this one is number 5. Last one. You know, that's why Chanel number 5 is called Chanel number 5, because it was the 5th submission that Coco Chanel was given.
Oh, interesting.
And the same with number 19. It was the 19th edition.
That's a great way of naming something, isn't it?
It's like, yeah, why search for a clever name when you can just have it, number 5.
Remember it. 19.
So yeah, my daughter likes 19. Brella, that's one of hers. It's quite a nice young.
Now this one sometimes is a bit slow coming out, so if it doesn't come out, maybe just...
I've got it. Yeah. Look at the colour of that. Can you see the colour?
It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, that is like liquid gold. That is very resinous.
It is. Really
resinous.
That
is like a benzoin or something, or like a... I don't know what that is, but it's...
Is it one that is it appealing to you today? Is it making you feel
It is
good?
appealing. It's quite lowering, I'm finding. That's quite grounding for me. I would go, ooh, that's quite comforting. It's quite smoky.
Yes, it is really smoky. It's almost like an old library or old books or something, isn't it?
But I am liking that.
Okay.
So I'm going to give that a tick.
The only one you're not using is number 3 then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, number 4 is very polarising.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
It's
Do you want to know what they are?
Love or hate. Yeah, let's talk through what they are. So, shall I guess?
Go on then. Number 1?
All right, number 1 is a citrus.
Yes.
But which one? It's actually, I thought it was sort of mandarin-y, and now it's gone more lemony.
Yeah, it's bergamot.
Is it bergamot? There you go.
Yes, yeah. So it's got that slightly woody aroma as well, which
Love it. I absolutely. Well, I like Earl Grey tea, and they flavour Earl Grey tea with bergamot. So
yes, absolutely.
That is a definite winner. Okay, so we use
so
number 1.
That's a good harmoniser. That lifts you or calms you down if you need it.
I'm just going to sniff my coffee beans because a sniff of my coffee beans to clear. Number 2 is frankincense, yeah?
100%, isn't it? Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that's from Oman, so it's a little bit more lemony. Number 3 is the one that you couldn't quite put your finger on.
It's got a geranium-y.
Yeah, you're almost right. It's lavender. It's French lavender.
Is it really French lavender?
Yeah.
Gosh, that is extraordinary how that doesn't smell to me. Mind you, to be fair, at the moment I'm using your English lavender.
Yeah. Well, this is really interesting. Two things. You said that this wasn't appealing to you because it's Monday, middle of the day. So, of course, it's not the right oil for you.
No, for me,
now.
bedtime, this would be...
Bedtime.
Isn't that
Spot
interesting?
on.
So I'm not good. I mean, I would put this into my evening blend.
Yeah.
Or maybe I wouldn't need to because I use it on my pillow.
Yeah. But also the other thing, you just mentioned English lavender. So French lavender... ours comes from high up in the mountains of Provence, and we have the same lavender, Lavandula angustifolia, which grows in England. But because the two climates and the altitude and everything is so different, the same essential oil has different therapeutic properties. So for the French lavender, really good for sleep. But English lavender is slightly more stimulating, but slightly more gentle on the skin. So same plant.
Oh, maybe
place,
I should switch
properties.
then. So I should be sprinkling French lavender onto my pillow.
Yeah, try it. See if it makes a difference.
I will. Well, I've got some now. I know now it's number 3, so it's going to be going on my pillow.
I'm hoping the labels come off.
I can write on them if not, no worries. And number 4. So this is the sort of resiny. Oh, I don't know. Number 4 is quite a tricky one.
It is, and it is.
Is it like a clary sage?
No, but you're really close. It's Roman chamomile.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. So it's got all that azulene.
Yeah, exactly. Which gives it that kind of sort of almost appley smell.
Really good.
Which is really nice.
And very calming and gentle chamomile. That's why you drink chamomile tea, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly. But that's a real Marmite one. So some essential oils are very polarising, as you said, and other essential oils are ones that I call them aromatherapy bullies. They're lovely bullies. But chamomile is one. So you put like a drop in your blend and you just smell it coming through.
Really, it takes over.
Yeah, so it's one to treat with caution.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then number 5, so this is a resiny one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is one you like. It's vetiver.
Vetiver.
Yes.
It's a really good quality vetiver because vetiver can be quite light and quite kind of up there, but I find vetiver quite a sexy smell, which I think is why they use it in lots of aftershaves.
Well, that's interestingly as well, because vetiver is so good for stress and sleep and things like that. It's also an aphrodisiac.
Is it?
But if you're having problems with sex associated with stress, so it's that kind of like it helps you to relax, so it puts you in the mood, kind of thing.
Wow, so really good kind of early evening bath time blend.
Yeah.
A few drops of vetiver. Who knew? What with
Not
that
a
and our
relaxing
maca
bath.
powder, we'll be away, won't we? The things that we're learning.
I know. How did we end up talking about aphrodisiacs?
Well, kind of, I don't know, all roads lead back to the basics, maybe.
Yeah,
Very nice. This. So now what am I going to do with this knowledge? Because I've got here, this is the unfragranced bath oil blend. And the reason that there's only half is that I have put already in a little bottle, that's 150 mils of my beautiful blend. And this is all your natural base oils, isn't it, in here?
Exactly. So the creator's bath oil, the plain base, is sunflower, apricot and wheat germ oils.
Lovely.
And we always dilute essential oils. We don't ever use them directly on the skin.
Yeah.
So the bath oil acts as a carrier, and then you're going to drop your essential oils in.
Okay, so what do you think I should put in? How many? So to 150 mils...
So I worked it out for 100 mils actually, which is 50
maybe this is 100 mils. I'm sorry, it is 100 mils.
I think it is.
It's 100 mils. Yeah, that's
it probably is. Yeah. So for 100 mils, you can go up to 2.5%, which is 50 drops.
Wow.
Unless you've got sensitive skin, in which case you want to do it at a 1% dilution, which is 20 drops.
Right. Okay. Well, I think my skin's quite used to essential oils in the bath.
Yeah.
So I'd be quite happy to give it the full whack, I think.
So what I would start doing is adding your essential oils in and starting off with maybe like the ones that you really love, maybe like 4 or 5 drops, and then treating something like Roman chamomile very gently with maybe 1 drop, and then smelling it and seeing how the aroma suits you. Okay. So the one thing I would do is keep your vetiver number 5 warm, because otherwise because it's so resinous, it tends to just become really sticky in the bottle.
Okay. And the other thing, which I've learnt from experience in the past, is always put the tops back on the bottles.
Yes.
Otherwise you muddle your tops up and you then start to sniff your tops and you're thinking which top goes with which oil.
Nightmare, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. But I guess
So hang on. So number 2 was...
Number 2 is frankincense.
It's frankincense. Fine. So
So
I've just
keep
used
a
10
note
drops
of how many
that.
drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I might... So the chamomile, you said, is quite punchy.
Yeah. So I would put maybe 1 or 2 drops in maximum.
Okay, fine. Let me do that.
And you can see, because obviously we're all so different. You know, how I smell something is very different to how you smell something.
Sure.
So, you know, you may end up with 5 drops of chamomile, you know, but it's worth starting off. Yeah. You can put essential oils in, can't you? But you can't take them out.
Exactly, once they're in. So did you tell me what number 1 was? We said it was a citrus.
Bergamot.
Oh, it is bergamot, of course it is.
Yes.
I love bergamot, so I'm going to do just a generous, like kind of 10 or 12s of bergamot. And you can see, I mean, even though they are very expensive, obviously, as little bottles, they're so concentrated, aren't they, that they go goes a really long way.
Exactly. It was interesting. I was just flicking through the TV last night, actually, and there was this year in Provence with Carol Drinkwater, and she was at a jasmine farm picking jasmine flowers to make essential oil. And she was saying, you know, I didn't realise how many flowers go in to make this tiny amount of essential oil.
It's unreal. And the same with rose. I've been to Turkey for the rose harvest, the Damascena rose, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, hundreds of kilos of rose petals to make a bottle.
Yeah.
Right, so that is 1 drop of vetiver.
Excellent.
That's gone in there. Okay,
so I made mine earlier on, and I ended up putting 6 drops of vetiver in.
Did you?
Yeah, but that's probably because I was freaking out about technology and will it work?
Okay, so you needed to be really calmed.
Exactly, I needed the grounding properties of the vetiver.
Okay, so now before I sniff that, I'm going to have a good old sniff, clear my nose with coffee beans. So I've reset my nose. Now.
And what you can do is you can always come back to it as well and tweak it.
Oh, that is so good. That is really, really good. I might actually just pop a little bit, Oh, I'm liking that a lot, actually. And in fact, I can smell that vetiver. It's really coming through quite strongly.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Just that 1 drop. That has worked so well with the frankincense and the bergamot.
Yeah.
Together,
but you
it's
can
lovely.
see how, with your Chanel number 5, you can see how you could get to that, couldn't you? You could create hundreds of incarnations of the same blend.
Lovely. Just have your 5 oils, and then... So if you were going to get 5, you know, perhaps somebody watching here is thinking, great, I'm going to, you know, have a go with this, or buy it as a present maybe for Christmas with one of the Create Your Own. Yeah. What kind of 5 would you recommend? You know, would you always have lavender? Would you always have a citrus?
Yeah, so I would think about top, middle and base notes. So top notes are always citrusy and light, and generally people always love citrus oils because they feel good, they're positive. And then the middle notes tend to be some of the lighter woods and flowers and herbs. So they're lovely, but they're also a little bit more Marmite. So lavender would be really good. In that, geranium, if you're feeling that you want to spoil somebody, rose might be quite nice.
Lovely.
And then I would also go for a base note as well. So base notes are more earthy and woody, so maybe something like cedar wood or...
would you go for frankincense? Would frankincense be a base note?
Well, our frankincense is from Oman and it's quite lemony.
Right.
So I would actually put it in a middle note. But if you're getting it from other countries, it does tend to be more basy.
God, it's so fascinating. It's like kind of fine wines, isn't it? When you're working with the real things, not just synthetics, which are standardised. You know, you really need to know about provenance and traceability and all of that.
Exactly. You know, I love that. You know, it's lovely where we get our essential oils from. We know the person who grows them.
Wow.
And when they come back to our eco factory that you were just talking about, they'll have the person's name on the huge flask, the drum that they come in.
I've seen it. I've been into your warehouse and I've seen these beautiful big aluminium containers, canisters with all their labels on from the growers. I mean, that kind of stuff, it just gives me such a high when I see that, because it's really
fabulous,
authentic.
isn't it?
And I've worked in places where that doesn't happen, where it's quite synthetic, because it's much cheaper, obviously, to have a synthetic, much cheaper.
Exactly. And I think, when you think about skincare as well, what's interesting is, when you look at the bottom of an inky and you have in italics, the citronol, geraniol, thymol, what's interesting is that a lot of companies take those isolated the plant chemicals, don't they? But when they're put on the skin, they're actually skin sensitizers. But when you use the entire essential oil, it's buffered by all of those other things that are in the essential oil.
That's so interesting. And just to say, actually, before we go, not only, is it the Create Your Own, but I know we have a Liz Love, so that we get 15% off everything at the moment, which is really lovely. The Women's Balance body cream, I am so loving this. And this has got the Rose Absolute. So that's that really expensive rose petal that we were talking about, with geranium and frankincense, which is probably why I love it so much.
Yeah. It is wonderful, isn't it? And I love the bath salts that you held up earlier
salts.
on.
I mean, these are really, it says it's harmonising. And again, you've got the frankincense and the rose and the geranium. Just lovely. And the formulas too, being natural oils. So you've got macadamia. And briefly, is there a link then with essential oils and smell and hormones? I mean, this is called Women's Balance.
Yeah, so the science is so sort of evolving on all of this, but when we think about our sense of smell, when we smell something, it hits the olfactory bulb and then it sets off this kind of cascade of reactions. So it sends information to our limbic system, which is our emotions but also our hypothalamus. And our hypothalamus is the internal regulator, isn't it? So it deals with things like heart rate and blood pressure and things like that. So it's sending out, and hormones as well. So it's sending out all of these messages. So even though the science is still kind of catching up with the traditional uses, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, that brain, mind, body connection is so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. So, maybe it will catch up. But I think when people are studying essential oils, because some of the active parts of it, they're so tiny and they're there in such minute amounts. It could be donkey's years before people really know how they work.
Yes.
But I think as long as you do what you said, it's choosing your essential oils carefully, making sure that you've got the provenance and the sustainability and the quality.
Yeah, buying from somewhere. I mean, we've talked about this before with vitamins and supplements and things. It's unfortunately a minefield because it can be fraught with so much kind of fraudulent activity and stuff being diluted or cut with cheaper synthetics or fillers or, all of that, and lots of weasel wording on packaging. And one of the things that I always used to write, and I've written books on essential oils over the years, is look for the Latin name as well, the botanical species, because a proper essential oil should give you the species of the plant that it came from, not just say, it's orange oil or it's geranium. It should actually say, Pelargonium graveolens or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just so that you get the real thing and it's authentic.
Yeah, and I always think the response you get from a business as well. They should, when you ring our guys up, they should be able to tell you the country of origin. All of those background things behind it that that we know because we've worked with the suppliers for so long.
Yeah.
It's not just bulk bought.
No, very much so. It's been such an interesting educational journey. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And I know everyone's really enjoyed. And I'll make sure that we put all the tags and everything so people can go over and have a look. And do give my love to everybody back at base at your Eco HQ. And there is an amazing shop there as well, which I really enjoyed. It's if you want a bit of retail therapy. I know you've got shops all over the place. Have you still got the one in Covent Garden?
Yeah, I shouldn't say this, but that's the one that I used to manage, that store. So it's still really close to my heart. Yeah.
And there's another one that I pop into actually in Marylebone High Street.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one is still there, actually.
Oh, really? Well, it was a while ago, I must say, that I used to go in there. But presumably on your website, you've got a list of where all the stores are.
Exactly, yeah. No, they're all over, but I agree with you. The shop at our Eco Factory, the team there are wonderful. Yeah. They are so helpful.
Well, do say hi, because I had a really lovely day with you all, so thank you. It was a while ago now. And your amazing herbalist who was showing me all the planting that you're doing.
Oh, Nicola. Yes, she is wonderful. Yeah. She's
give her
fabulous.
A hi from me.
Yeah. Did you go into the tincture unit where she makes the tinctures?
Yeah, I mean, amazing. So impressive.
Yeah.
Really, really
Brilliant.
impressive. I love that. And, you know, that's why you definitely deservedly get a Liz Loves, because it is the real deal, okay? It's genuinely, authentically good. So very, very happy to support. So thank you for being with me today.
Oh, no, that's an absolute pleasure. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, love to the team. Thanks,
Yes.
Tipper. See you again, I hope. Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You're going to have to leave me, my lovely, otherwise I cut everybody off. Wasn't that so fascinating? Absolutely. It just really reminded me how much I love aromatherapy. You know, as I say, my first book was all about oils, and I remember when Lily was born, she's 30, and, you know, using different essential oils with her when she was little. I mean, not as a newborn. And in fact, there was a question from, I think I made a note of it here, was it Claire? You were talking about eczema, and, you know, be careful with essential oils because they're totally natural, obviously the good ones, but they can be sensitizing. So, you know, just be very careful. Personally, I don't use essential oils on eczema-prone skin. But I have got an e-guide to eczema. I think it's $1.99 on Amazon. They've got a whole load of ebooks that I rewrote a few years ago. And there's one on dry skin and eczema specifically. And that has got so much in there. And it's a subject close to my heart because I'm predisposed to eczema. And all my 5 children, they all have the same issue. So I've really walked that journey a lot, in terms of using things on my skin and using things in the diet, focusing on supplements like GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, having high fats in the diet, you know, all of that stuff. And it's all in the book, along with conventional medication. You know, I'm not against using steroids when you need to, just to control a flare-up so it doesn't become out of control. But it's all in the book, so please. Maybe Lainey, I think, lovely, you're on Facebook, aren't you? You can always pop a link up to the Dry Skin and Eczema ebook. Lots of comments asking what I'm wearing. Okay, so this was sent to me by my lovely friend Annie at Sanson Reed. And those of you on Instagram will know, I'm sure, Annie and all her lovely things. She's a lady that I first got to know on the Isle of Wight decades ago and reconnected probably this time last year, actually, or maybe a bit earlier, at a fair where she goes around the country doing private fairs. So it's not a big retail shop. So she sells things that other people don't have. She does all those lovely headbands. She's given us a Liz Loves discount code, which is really good. But actually at the moment, we've just launched a competition with her. So there, if you head to Earle Wellbeing, to the website, you literally just have to enter it. There's nothing else that you have to do. And it's to win £500 worth of her lovely things. So a £500 voucher, and you can spend it on anything, you know, dresses like this one. She's got accessories, belts, all sorts. I mean, just everything. So love, Annie. If you're watching, happy Monday. And I hope that Christmas, I think you were at Spirit of Christmas, weren't you, recently? I saw on your Instagram, so I hope that went really well. So thank you very much for giving us a chance to win £500 of your lovely things. Gosh, that would buy a lot actually at Annie's, because they're not overpriced either. So just to say, talking about sleep, there was also a lot of interest last week. I think it was Wednesday when I was in my studios, and I was talking about weighted blankets. Yeah, and there is an amazing deal on at Calm Koala, and that's Calm Koala spelt with a K. So Calm as in K-A-L-M, Calm Koala. So this one, I have actually just taken off my youngest's bed. So he sleeps with this on his bed. And you can get singles and doubles and, you know, all different sizes and different weights. If you go onto their website, it works out the weight that's right for you, because it depends on your body weight. And it gives you lots of options, but this, it's washable, it's super soft, it's really, really good. And I think it was Betty who kindly worked out that because we've got the Liz Loves discount code, and they're also on sale at the moment, so I hope that is they're still active, because it reduced the price for a double from something like £200 down to about 70. I mean, it was a really serious saving. So if you're looking, perhaps great present for somebody. I mean, I actually have one of these downstairs as well. We wrap ourselves up in it and, you know, sit and watch Strictly or whatever we're watching on the TV. It's very good for sleep, but it's also very good for anxiety. And it's something about having that weight on you that links with the parasympathetic nervous system, and it just slows everything down. It's a bit like, do you remember I did something with Sensate recently, which is that lovely gadget that connects to the vagus nerve, again, it's all about slowing everything down and keeping calm and reducing cortisol, which is then helping to improve our immune system, all of those things. So really, really good. So I wanted to give that a little bit of a shout out before that offer disappears. A couple of other things just to mention before I go in terms of sleep particularly. So Life Armour. So this is my little bottle from my bedroom. This is the drops of Slumber. This is what I use every night. That's my ritual. Lavender oil on the pillow, a mask on. I use the Holistic Silk eye mask, particularly if I'm travelling and I can't black out my room. I mean, here in my bedroom I've got blackout blinds, but if I'm travelling, need to make sure I black everything out. And drops of Slumber, that's the last thing that goes under my tongue before I pop off to sleep. I also very much like this. This is Better You Magnesium Flakes. So magnesium, I would take a magnesium supplement before bed as well. So, and then I'll use, if I have a bath in the evening, I'll use magnesium flakes, or if, somebody's at home, one of my kids, and they want, a really good night's sleep, like Brella, if she's back from uni, I'll say, if she's a bit worn out, listen, why don't you get a really good night's sleep? Take your Slumber drops, lavender on the pillow, magnesium bath, let it soak in. You need to use quite a lot. So out of this, I'd probably get 3 or 4 baths, maybe out of this. So it's quite a lot. It's not just a sprinkling. It's a big, several handfuls. And you soak in it for at least 20 minutes. So you need to make sure that you've got time to do that. I actually add a couple of drops of lavender as well to my bath with this. And we do have a Liz Loves. So just that's why I wanted to mention that before I forget. That's also 15% off. And then this, I've just been sent this. So this time last week, I did a live with the lovely founder of Bramley Products, Bramley Beauty, Health and Beauty. And that was Chloe. And she said that they had just introduced a Missella cleansing water with chamomile and rose, which she sent to me. And it is absolutely delicious. And what's more, she sent me some little reusable cotton pads, a little tag. Isn't that sweet, a little pouch? And it is really good. So this is like a toner, like a skin tonic, but it also has cleansing ingredients. So it's, excellent. Jen, I'll answer your question in just a second. So yeah, so thank you, Chloe. I got that, really like it. Love your little reusable pads as well. And this was the thing that I really loved. And this is their wellness tent. Did you see this last time? Just to remind you, such a great present. And they've got all sorts of these. They've got ones like these with the circus tent with children's things. Whoops. Of course, I've tipped that. It's not going to open up properly now, is it? Oh, I should have checked it before opening it. There we go. Let me pop that back in. So these little tents open up and it's got a scented candle and it's got all sorts in there. Isn't that sweet? Really lovely. Anyway, that is all from Bramley in the really cute little packaging. I love all these Christmas things that are coming in now, all these special ideas. So we also do have the Liz Loves with Bramley. So that is just about it for today. Oh, people are absolutely loving the chat about essential oils, which is so great. Jen, back issues for Earle Wellbeing. Yes, we do. I think on the website you'll see maybe a chance to get some back issues. We don't have all of them. Some of them have sold out, but head over to Earle Wellbeing where it says shop, buy magazine. You should be able to get the back issues. And if not, just email my team. It's hq@lizellewellbeing.com, hq@lizellewellbeing.com, and they may be able to get together a set of back issues, but hopefully it will be up there on the Warner's website. And don't forget that if you're subscribed to Readly, and Readly is the app, the way you can flick through all the issues for Earle Wellbeing as well digitally. They don't go back right to the beginning because we've only been on Readly for the last, 3 years maybe? But all of those you can get online on Readly, which is really good. Interesting. Oh my goodness, Helen. Yeah, magnesium. There are lots of different kinds. All magnesium will help you sleep, but some is gentler on the tummy. So some people tolerate different types of magnesium more than others. There is a feature on lizellewellbeing.com if you want to have a look about magnesium. You're welcome. Very nice to be interactive and to share some chat. So I'm going to be back with you live on Wednesday. And I'm very pleased. I'm going to be joined by 2 more founders, or at least one, possibly. They're a husband and wife team, so we'll have to work out. I think it's going to be Hannah who joins from Indie Supplements, talking for Wellbeing Wednesday all about those amazing powders and all the different herbs and things that you can use to make smoothies and shakes and drinks and all sorts, adaptogenic herbs and vitamins and really interesting things. So do join me for that. I'm sure we'll continue the conversation about keeping calm and carrying on. Lots of offers, obviously, online. If you want to head over to lizarwellbeing.com, just check out Liz Loves, okay? That we work now with so many different brands are able to give us discounts, which is so great. So, weighted blankets. Yeah, oh good. I'm so glad you enjoyed that, Pen. Really nice to have you with me. And I saw earlier lots of chat about the Christmas Carol concert. So great that so many of you have already got tickets. I'll put up a little thing on my Instagram a bit later, perhaps. If anybody would like to get tickets, it's on Wednesday, the 8th of December, early evening in Chelsea, just off Sloane Square. So hopefully quite central for people to get to from wherever you are. And Lainey, maybe, sweetheart, can you pop a link on Facebook just so that that's up there if anybody would like to click on that or share it with friends? You are all very, very welcome. Have a lovely week. Thank you very much for being with me. My bedroom smells absolutely amazing. I'm going to go now and put my Mighty Brew back in the fridge. I'm going to resist opening it. That might get opened a little bit later in the week. But don't forget that that is now up and running and it's already proving quite popular. So you do get your Liz Loves discount as well. So please use your Liz Loves code at the checkout. And a big thank you actually to Mighty Brew. They remembered that my youngest's absolute favourite kombucha from them is winter chai. And I came home at the weekend and there was a box of winter chai with a little note from Julia. So really, massive thanks for that. He is already enjoying it. It's a great one. So if you want to try winter chai, do grab that. I'm definitely going to be reordering that myself. It's a lovely one for the winter. It's all sort of spicy and warming. Lovely. Anyway, thank you so much. Lovely to see you. And I'll be back with you again live on Wednesday. Tune in. Until then, have a great few days. Lots of love. Bye-bye.